$3,417. That's what Harry takes home each month, and it's also the size of the cage. Because if your whole plan is a 9 to 5, the math gets ugly fast. Even a good raise barely moves your life, and the bills move faster. Here's the question that stings. When do you actually get free today? Harry didn't start broke. He started normal broke, the kind that looks fine from the outside. He's a warehouse picker at a distribution center, paid every other Friday, on his feet all day. He splits a 2-bedroom with a roommate, drives a dented Civic, and he's got 2 debts that feel alive: a card balance that never dies and a car loan that refuses to shrink. He kept repeating the story you've probably repeated. If I just get promoted, I'll be okay. And if I just get a slightly better job, I'll breathe. Then he read The Algebra of Wealth by Scott Galloway, and it hit like a cold splash. Wealth isn't built by effort alone. It's built through ownership and leverage. Harry thought, fine, but I'm clocking in before sunrise, so what do I do with that? So he wrote one number on a sticky note and put it on his fridge handle. 3,417. His freedom gap. The amount he needed to replace if he wanted his time back. Not a dream or a flex. Just a target that couldn't be ignored. At work, people were talking about raises. The Bureau of Labor Statistics reported average hourly earnings were up about 3.8% over the past year. That sounds decent until you translate it into your kitchen. 3.8% of Harry's take-home is about $129 a month. Wad $129 that disappears into groceries, gas, toothpaste, and a random fee you didn't invite. That's trap number 1. A job can raise your pay and still keep you stuck because your life expands to fill it. Trap number 2 is worse. Time is capped. Harry can only sell so many hours before his body taps out. If he tries to grind, he gets tired, he makes mistakes, and the job punishes him for it. And here's the part no one says out loud. The biggest bills don't wait for raises. The Bureau of Labor Statistics consumer spending data shows housing costs kept climbing recently, with housing up again and rent rising inside that. So the gap keeps widening, even when you feel like you're doing everything right. What if the goal isn't more hours? What if the goal is more value per hour? That's the side hustle math that changes your future. Most people hear side hustle and think delivery apps, random gigs, and late nights for extra cash. That can help in a pinch, but it rarely buys freedom. If your side hustle is just another hourly job, it's still a cage. It just has a second lock. Harry decided his side hustle had to do 3 things: start fast, be learnable without a degree, and scale without adding endless hours. He looked for a problem he could solve without pretending to be a guru, and the warehouse handed him a pattern. Every week, small businesses sent shipments with missing labels, wrong barcodes, and messy packing slips. That chaos cost them fees, delays, and angry customers. Harry watched drivers get turned away, boxes get relabeled, and owners bleed time. Those businesses weren't lazy, why their systems were sloppy. So Harry built a side hustle around a boring offer that saved pain. He'd clean up a business's shipping workflow in 7 days, label templates, packing slips, and a simple process their staff could follow without thinking. Not "I'll help you," not "I do consulting," a fix with a deadline. Then he built the part that made it sustainable. A rule that sounded small but was ruthless. He called it the 2 receipts rule. Every workday after he got home, before he allowed himself to sit and scroll, he had to create 2 receipts of effort that could lead to revenue. The first receipt was a message sent to a real potential customer. Sent. The second receipt was proof of value built, a template improved, a before and after screenshot saved, or a clearer checklist created. 2 receipts, then rest. Miss the receipts, off no scrolling, and that friction kept him honest. He taped a cheap notebook to the wall by his bed, so the last thing he saw at night was either 2 check marks or an empty page staring back. You don't need more motivation, you need feedback you can't ignore. Harry charged his first client $197, a small online store that shipped skincare products. He didn't pitch freedom, he pitched fewer problems. He reorganized their labels, gave them a packing slip template, and built a simple checklist. They stopped getting hit with missing barcode fees, they stopped shipping wrong items, and they saved time they could actually feel. The owner asked him if he could do it for a friend's shop too. Harry almost said yes for the same price. Then he remembered the book. Leverage means you don't only sell hours, you sell outcomes. So he raised the price. The second client paid $311. The third paid $407. And here's what surprised him. The work didn't triple. He got faster, reused templates, and refined the workflow, then copied with tweaks. By the end of month 1, Harry earned $915 from the side hustle. Profit, not revenue, because his costs were basically internet, printing, and gas. If you added $915 this month, what bill would go quiet? Your credit card minimum, your car payment, or your rent gap? Harry didn't treat it like extra cash. He treated it like a replacement plan. He set a target that felt real. Replace 1/3 of his take-home. That's $1,139 a month, and 1/3 changes your options. It lets you say no to overtime once in a while, and it buys time to grow the side hustle instead of just surviving. He protected that target with one more move. He renamed the side hustle deposits inside his banking app as time buyback, all caps. So when the money landed, it couldn't pretend to be bonus. It had a job. Month 2, he got cocky. He skipped the receipts for a few days, told himself he was busy, and waited. Nothing came. No new clients, no new messages, just silence. That's the other side hustle trap. If you stop planting, you stop harvesting. So he rebuilt the system. Same rule, no exceptions. 2 receipts every weekday, even when he didn't feel like it. By month 3, he had 4 clients, and 2 were monthly maintenance clients. They paid him $217 each month just to keep templates updated and answer questions. Not because he was magic, because he was the person who made shipping feel easy. Now zoom out and hit the core truth. A job isn't bad, it's stability and a training ground. But a job is still a trade. You trade time for money and your time is finite. So financial freedom is a different trade. You trade value for money, and value can scale. Here's the reveal that changes how you see side hustles forever. In the algebra of wealth, Scott Galloway keeps pointing back to one idea. Build assets that keep paying when you're not there. Don't chase a perfect plan. Build a repeatable machine that turns effort into offers. Then he checked a gut punch from the Federal Reserve's report on household well-being. When faced with a $400 surprise expense, only about 63% of adults said they could cover it with cash or its equivalent. That means a huge chunk of people are living without slack. No slack means one flat tire becomes debt. One sick day becomes panic. One surprise bill becomes shame. Harry realized his side hustle wasn't just extra income. It was slack on purpose, and slack buys options. So he upgraded the 2 receipts rule. The first receipt stayed the same. 1 message sent each weekday. The second receipt became a value upgrade every single night. Building for speed every night. He added one more constraint that made his offer spread. At the end of every completed job, he asked for one introduction. Not a public review, not a huge favor. Just a simple, "Who else do you know that ships products every day?" That one sentence turned his clients into distribution. And distribution is the lever most side hustles never touch. By month 5, Harry averaged $1,427 a month from the side hustle. But he wasn't trapped. He attacked the credit card balance in ugly chunks, 211 here and 319 there. Not perfect. But it finally started dropping like it meant it. Now look at the difference. Raise math is linear. You get a small bump and your expenses eat it. Side hustle math can scale, but only if you stop selling tasks and start selling fixes. That's the game in plain sight. So Harry took one more step. He productized the boring part. He turned his label and packing slip workflow into a simple package, a folder of templates and a 15-minute setup call. That's it. Then he sold it again and again. Some weeks he sold 0. Some weeks he sold 3. Now he wasn't only trading hours, he was selling a system. A lot of side hustles never escape the $200 a month zone. One big survey said the median side hustle income is around $200 monthly, even though some people earn much more. That gap isn't talent, it's structure. Most people do random tasks and they never build an offer, which is why they stay stuck. By month 7, his side hustle averaged $2,009 a month. He wasn't rich, but his freedom gap was shrinking fast. Then his boss offered overtime. Old Harry would have grabbed it instantly. New Harry paused. Overtime paid him money now. The side hustle paid him momentum that repeats. So he said no to one overtime shift and used that time to send messages, polish a case study, and follow up with past clients. That week, he landed a monthly client worth $389. That's the trade. Money now. Or money that repeats. And if you're thinking, okay, but I'm not in shipping, good. You don't need shipping. You need a pain point you can fix. You need a simple offer. You need a small rule that forces you to keep showing up even when you're tired. Systems don't. So borrow the math, not the exact hustle. Pick your freedom gap number, the monthly amount you need to replace to breathe. Pick a first target chunk, like 1/3, big enough to matter and small enough to hit. Say, build an offer that fixes one specific problem in a short window with a result, a deadline, and a clear before and after. Then install the 2 receipts rule. 1 message and 1 value upgrade every weekday. No spreadsheets, no guilt, just receipts. This is where people sabotage themselves. They make side hustle money and immediately expand their lifestyle. New subscriptions, new payments, new toys. And suddenly, the hustle becomes another job just to keep up, and the cage returns. Harry avoided that by tying the money to time buyback. He used it to remove bills, remove stress, and remove fear, because removing bills buys options, and options are freedom. So will your 9 to 5 make you financially free? It can start the journey, stabilize you, and teach you, but it rarely finishes it. The finish line is built with something that scales. A skill you can sell, an offer people want, and a tiny system that keeps you moving when you're tired. You don't need to become a different person overnight. You just need to become the kind of person who collects receipts. 2 a day, even when it's boring, even when it's awkward, even when nobody replies at first. Because one day, a message turns into a client turns into a monthly retainer, and a retainer turns into Slack. Then Slack turns into leverage. That's how the cage opens. So tonight, ask yourself one thing. What is your freedom gap number, and what would your life look like when it hits 0? Because when your money can cover your life without your presence, that isn't just financially free. That's time. That's peace. That's yours.